This video is supported in part by Tommy and the Order of Cosmic Champions. If you enjoy the never-ending story and Masters of the Universe, this new novel coming fall 2022 is right up your alley. Hey there, welcome back to GenXGrownUp. John here with a quick look at another pickup I made during my holiday vacation. I mentioned previously on the channel that when I go on vacation to different cities or I visit on business, I like to go to nerd stores and used game stores and thrift shops, anywhere that old vintage stuff might be that I've not had a chance to take a look at yet or maybe add to my collection. In this case, boy did I make a find. This is an original packaged AtariWriter word processor for the Atari line of 8-bit home computers. Now this one wasn't mint in the box, nor was it even sealed, but boy is it complete. In fact, I consider it to be more than complete based on some of the things that are inside, give it a kind of a provenance and a history, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. Now in case you don't know, it's worth mentioning that AtariWriter, keep in mind this was like 82, 83 era on these 8-bit computers. This was a pretty revolutionary word processor for its time. It featured word wrap and search and replace and mail merge and layout and margins and all the kind of things that even a high-end electronic typewriter doesn't necessarily have. And AtariWriter had it. It was the first word processor that I ever had the opportunity to work with. I had Atari computers, and when productivity software started to appear, man, I was all over it. I got my parents to buy me a 1027 printer, and I had my AtariWriter going. And when other students were using typewriters, I was able to print out computer-generated word processed documents for my English class and pretty much anything in high school. Now, I have pulled a few things out of the box that make it more than complete. I'll show you that in a second, but first let me show you what's in it as it shipped, and it's in great shape considering its age. It's got the quick reference guide here because there was no in-software menuing. All the shortcuts and stuff had to be documented here because there wasn't any extra space in 48 or 64K of memory to put that much stuff and store your documents. So you had to have this quick reference guide, and yeah, it's absolutely still here and included. And browsing over it, I still remember a lot of these from when I was using AtariWriter. Over on the right-hand side, you have this nice spiral-bound instruction manual, and it is in fantastic condition. Again, just take a look at, all the beautiful, clear screenshots and information about how to set up and use AtariWriter. Each section is kind of broken up by that keyhole page, and then just a well laid out instruction manual. And it's in absolutely beautiful condition. I remember reading this from cover to cover in order to learn what was at that point very new and innovative ways that you could format, manipulate text outside of longhand or typewritten. It was really remarkable what you could accomplish with AtariWriter. Now, also back in the box is the cartridge itself, of course. It's a standard black label Atari 8-bit computer cartridge, AtariWriter word processor. That was RX 8036. And because this is in the box, it is in spectacular condition. No nicks or scrapes or anything. The label has a little bit of bubbling, but that's really just the adhesive lifting. It's in great shape. Now, there's a gap here in the box. That's not something that's missing. That's something that was there for your convenience because very few people had disk drives. Most people had cassette tapes. So you can see that looks like cassettes. I want to show you what was included in the box. The previous owner had their cassettes still in this box. Even today, I should be able to take these tapes, put them in my 410 program recorder, and play them into AtariWriter and get the full document. But what the heck is on them, you might wonder? Well, interestingly enough, also still in the box were these little 3x5 note cards that said at what point on the program tape existed what documents. You can see this French, looks like they're taken off. There's an egg roll recipe. You can see over here, there's a chain letter backup. What are you doing with chain letters? Come on. Here's some English reports on the Willow something incident, alcohol during war, Hemingway comparison. Like me, someone used this AtariWriter. It wasn't bought and put on the shelf. It wasn't bought and just kind of added to somebody's library. This was a living, breathing copy of AtariWriter that someone used the way it was intended to be used, and because they just had a tape recorder, they used this little note card method of remembering and indexing what was on the different tapes. So these little note cards were tucked right in here. We had the cassette tapes right in there along with the cartridge, the manual right back in place, and there we have my, what I consider to be more than complete original 82-83 era AtariWriter in the box. If you are an Atari fan and have made similar finds yourself, I would love to hear about them down in the comments. And we have a playlist here of tons of Atari coverage, including some computer stuff that you might dig. Maybe give that a click and check it out. I sure hope you found something to enjoy though in this video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.